announce it first.
That's right.
My turn. Regular council meeting of the Village of Armada will now come to order. Will everyone rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call roll, please.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Cronin is absent. Wallach.
Here.
Belkey.
Here.
Sleds.
Here.
Ballard.
Here.
Next is the approval of the agenda. What's the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We'd like to welcome Mr. Ballard back after his illness,
Thank you.
and he's doing well. Apparently, it looks.
Yep.
His color is so good.
I feel better, Mr. President. Thank you.
Good, thank you. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
At this time, the floor is opened up to citizen comments. Anyone would like to address it? Council. If not, we're going to move on to presentations. There's no presentations tonight. Next is the administrative reports, commissioner liaison reports. We have code enforcement report, police action report for August, and planning commission meeting minutes of August the 1st. So what is the commissioners' report if they want to report?
Go ahead. Mr. President, as a follow-up to last meeting, the bid packages for the Lathrop Street, the drainage are complete. They're coming out now to start the bid process. Michelle, I think, you were part of the email, or he contacted you.
Yeah, I got it today. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he'll be sending, have packs on file here, that way people.
Yeah, Dave has one and I have one.
Okay, good.
Your intention is to bring it back to the next meeting then?
I would, let's see. No, it'll be the first week first meeting in October.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, because the bids won't close until right after that.
okay, I just thought we'd have just a general idea.
Yep.
Is that it, Chris? Or?
That is it,
How
Ross.
about you, Mr. Belkey?
Okay,
Sure.
I got my usual laundry list. So council, a couple of meetings ago, had approved electrical work to improve the ventilation system and the water treatment plant and the well houses, as well as to connect the water tower with the township fire department's generator. The electrical work on the ventilation system is now complete. That was done today, and we're starting work tomorrow to trench in the conduit from the water tower to the fire department. I've talked with the chief, and so we're all set to do that. That work should be complete by Wednesday. Unfortunately, it wasn't done in time for the gustnado, but it should be done by the end of this week for sure. Media exchange for vessels 1 and 2 has been an ongoing topic. It is now scheduled to take place the week of 19 through 23 September, so the media will be delivered and then it will be installed the same week. As council knows, you approved a funding scheme which paid a certain amount of money to the contractor up front, got the work done up front, and then we've got 10 months to finish paying the contractor at no additional interest charge. So a great deal, and that's going to get done. Now that's replacing completely the media that has been in these vessels for over 17 years. It was pretty well expended, which is why, as you recall, arsenic levels were going up. They never got to a point that we had to shut anything down, but they were starting to get close. And so this is great news. This will get that thing done. All samples required by the Eagle Water Monitoring program have been taken by our F&V operator in charge, and they turn those into the local labs for analysis, so this is all on schedule. Everything's supposed to be done by the end of September, and we should have no problem meeting that. Held a good meeting with Eagle and Row Engineering regarding a letter of intent that we, an intent to apply letter that we submitted to Eagle for state grants. And this is just something that I'm doing in addition to the infrastructure committee that's working potential improvements to the water system, streets, sewer system, and so on. You got to get a letter of intent in before Eagle even talks to you. We've now got somebody that I can talk to at Eagle about this, and they're helping me navigate the process. And so that was a very constructive meeting. The focus there is trying to see if we can get done the arsenic detention project that is shovel ready. Just the price has gone up, doubled essentially, so that we've had to shelf that. We're going to try to get that done. Lead and galvanized service line replacement and select water lines. For example, we've got a water line that runs to the wastewater treatment plant, the sewer treatment plant, that's busted about 6 times now. It's probably behoove us to get that replaced sooner rather than later. It's a pretty critical line. Anyway, great meeting. We have scheduled our third F&V engineering infrastructure meeting. It'll be in mid-October sometime. These two guys are pretty critical to that because they bring street information and sewer information. Again, what we're trying to do this year is ensure we completely understand where the worst infrastructure is and then get it prioritized for potential improvement investment over the next 2 or 3 years. I did have a couple additional items. I did sit down with Jeff Bohorsky and talk to county representatives on Friday regarding the Church Street Comb Orchard Trail connection. The one important guy that was missing is that the county lawyer didn't manage to make it. I don't know why. So we may have to go around too, but everybody that was on the phone, to include all of the county representatives, minus the lawyer, suggested that using a temporary construction easement versus a license agreement is the proper path forward. We don't want to own it, we don't want to manage it, we don't want to have liability on it, we just want to get it put in. So the county's saying, if you guys fund it and put it in, then job done, you got your connection, and we'll handle all of the rest. So that's where we're moving to. You might remember Mark Losey, who was here back in December. He is he works for DTE, but in his spare time, he also is on the State Trail Commission and so on. He is working with me to come up with the money to put the trail in, put the connection in. So again, if the intent is that we pay nothing for it, we get it put in, and the county has given us permission to do so. So that continues. And then lastly, on another related issue, I've talked to council about the community heart and soul effort. The council had approved a resolution a while back, so did the township. Happy to report that we have been now granted the $10,000 seed grant. We expect another $10,000 from Fort County Community Foundation to get us started on this, and we've been approved to go into what's called phase 1 of the 4-phase program. So there's an active group that is now working this, and we've got some administrative things to do over the next 2 to 3 months. We'll get those done, and then we'll really launch out into the community and talking to all facets of the community about what their desires for the future of Armada is. So very happy to report that. That's it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I have something for the planning commission. We reviewed 9 and 10 zoning ordinances. And the other issue we have is a new business wants to come in. It's light industrial. They want to rent part of Paterak's building, I guess. We just need to find out if they're going to meet the parameters that we have for light industrial. It sounds like we will, but we want to meet with them and make sure that it's okay.
Mike, can I ask, are you guys gonna start maybe looking at density issues for potentially the last chunk of property we've got around here to maybe develop?
Talk about Fritz, where he owns that property.
I know there's a chunk that's down there by the south side, south of Morrison Street, there's a spread there. I know we've had a couple developers in the past
Yeah.
that have approached us, but our density requirements are such that they couldn't make it work. That is one clear way to reduce water and sewer costs, getting a lot of people that are asking about how do you reduce costs. Not funding it is not the answer. You're seeing a lot of systems collapse now because they're not being funded. A good way to take care of it is to increase density in the village, and you got more people paying into the system,
Sure.
and then you don't have to keep
I agree
raising
100% with you.
Yeah. I think planning's got to bring it back to us what they were.
Yeah, we did discuss a little bit. I discussed with Becky about that particular property you're talking about. And I don't know if we would approach Fritz and see if he would be willing to go with less homes in there. That was the issue. He felt that he wouldn't make enough money. He wanted to put in 22. It'd have to be less than that, according to our planning,
Right.
engineers
32.
and stuff. What was it?
Yeah, 32.
Was it 32?
32, yeah.
And we ended up with 30.
Yeah.
But there's more than that with that too. There's water, sewer access, right, easements and things that would have to go into.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
But I still think it's feasible. Anything can be done. Anything can be done.
It's just, I don't have any other really tricks in my back pocket unless we annex, which nobody's talking about, or unless customers outside of the village ask to be, to buy into the system.
All right.
Other than that, you got a small number of people that are carrying the
Sure.
weight of the system, and that's why bills tend to be higher.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks, appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
That company that you mentioned is building some houses now. So I see a couple being built with their signs out in
Yeah,
front.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
So
one on North.
he could be maybe interested, might be worth a phone call
Mm-hmm.
to talk to him. So
I can do that. I would gladly do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
very good, thank you.
Mr. President, I do have the Police Department Police Action Report for August 2022. The traffic-related traffic stops were 26. There was 1 assault. Assist EMS 9 times. Assist other agencies 5. Suspicious situation with 3. Civil dispute was 2. Dog and animal complaint was 1. Disturbance was 2. Alarm open door 1. Domestic disturbance 1. Lockout 0. Death investigation 0. Juvenile related 1. Damage property 3. Mental distress situation 2. Warrant arrest none. 0. Miscellaneous calls for service 5. Missing persons located 0. Officer initiated activity 0. Lost and found property 4. Theft was 1. Fraud was 0. Motor vehicle accidents were 2. There were 27 parking tickets issued during the Armada Fair. There were no arrests during the fair week by our department or arrests at the fairgrounds by any other police agency. The Armada Fair had a record attendance of 79,701 people, up from the 2021 attendance of 74,053. So we almost had a 5,000 plus. Okay.
Certainly was busy.
Yes, it was. As of August 30th, 22 miles on patrol car 431 was 77,061. 432 is the F-150, is 10,011 miles. 433, the unmarked Dodge, is 62,937.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Anyone else?
I have a copy, he gave me a copy.
Mr. Clark, do you have anything?
He's under old business.
Yeah, old business. I'm old, so.
And you got business.
Yeah, I got business.
I'm sorry, but the village of Armada doesn't discriminate.
Okay, that's good.
You have your own special spot.
All right. Um, Of course, we're gonna move on to the general business. The consent agenda, approval of the regular council meeting minutes of August 22nd, 22, and the payment of bills. What is the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion that we approve the RCM minutes of 6/22/22.
No, approve the consent agenda.
Consent agenda.
Consent
Oh,
agenda.
I'm sorry, consent agenda,
As presented.
as presented.
Support.
Was that you, Ross?
Yeah.
Ross, yeah.
Lyle, are you abstaining from those minutes?
Yes, I will.
Yes, okay. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Old business, Mr. Clark, will
Yes.
have you,
Okay, go ahead.
The 2 flight pumps that we approved about, 2.5, 3 months ago have been installed in the lift station at the plant and are working. We're still working on a small little problem we've got with our gas feed coming into the plant now. We've got a couple more furnaces online. We've got to get with the gas company, and we owe them some information on how much gas units use, and they'll have to do a new pressure regulator on the line to boost things. And then I have a quote that Dave Wagner got me from Telto Contracting to replace a sanitary manhole, which more than likely has been a large source of infiltration down at the plant. And I'm gonna get with Dave just to go over a few more things. It's in the ballpark of a little over $12,000 to replace the whole manhole. The manhole also lies in a ditch area, so it's catching groundwater, and groundwater is running into it before it even gets to the creek.
Yep.
So it was a good find by those guys. That one thing they've been working on the last couple of weeks, they want to go along the whole route and check all the manholes.
So you'll bring that back to the next
I
one?
will
for
bring this
approval?
back. Again, Telto has done quite a bit of work in the village here. I can see if I can get another quote, but I don't think I'll get one much better. They do have to kind of clear some woods to get down to it, because it's kind of a drop-off area into the floodplain there. It's kind of off the trail in the backside of our DPW property back there, so I will be bringing this back.
by doing that also, with the seepage from another area there, you're saying, will this correct that too, so it won't enter?
I think so,
Okay,
so,
just a question. Thank
Yep.
you.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. New business, special event permit. This will be from the Armada Schools, which is our homecoming is coming up. So Michelle has a few words to say.
Okay, so, we're trying to eliminate the throwing of candy from
Right.
moving vehicles to keep everybody safe. I talked to Michael Rose, who is the applicant. He's actually, I think, the the head of the student council. He's a teacher. And explained to him, our concerns. I know last year we had quite a few, candy throwing, even after we talked about it, but he's at the beginning of the parade. So he's not, here, so he assured me that he would be having meetings with all the organizations, the drivers of the vehicles, to just reiterate that we're not allowing it. They're gonna have to walk. We had a little bit of problems with the fair parade, not nearly as many as we could have, but it only takes one. So we're just trying to, keep everybody safe. And, they can pass candy, they just have to walk along the route. So he assured me that he's gonna do it. I wanted to talk about that, that's why this isn't in consent. That's why I just made it a separate item. So we'll, hopefully we'll get there, but.
Okay.
So you just have to approve that separately.
Okay, and I would make a motion to approve the special event permit application from the Armada area schools on 10/7/22 between 4 o'clock PM and 5 o'clock PM to hold a parade.
Support.
Moved and supported, any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Well, we're gonna support our kids in our community like we always do. So, that's very important to us.
There's no candy throwing.
Now, just not from a moving vehicle. I mean,
That's
that's all you gotta do.
What date is the parade?
October 7th,
And what time?
4 to 5.
4 to 5, they usually take off about, I don't know if they take off at 4, usually it's coming down the road about 5. So I'm not sure, you
Is
might
it-
have to ask the school, I'm not positive.
Is
They
it the
say
same
between
route?
4 Yeah,
Same route as
Yep.
usual.
yeah.
You start at the south end of
Yeah.
town.
Okay.
They hit middle of town by
So
4 o'clock.
they're probably leaving at 4, so yeah, probably 4 o'clock.
All right. Permission to sell 5 old used fire hydrants.
Ross, I have 7 on there.
Yeah, no,
Okay, all right, I didn't change the agenda, but, okay.
Understand why we did that.
All right.
Council knows that we've been divesting some old equipment, trying to sell where we can. Whatever money we make goes back into the department, water department's customer funded. Whatever I get from billing cycles is what goes back into the system. So any additional shekels I can get helps to buy equipment and stuff like that. So when we get an item that we think is worth putting on the market, may get more than the bare minimum scrap price, we do that. And so these are 7 old fire hydrants from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. We call council bought 7 hydrants and 1 additional replacement for 8, and we replaced the 7 now, and would like to sell them to eager buyers, preferably for something substantial and not the scrap price. So I'm just going to make a motion to allow the water department to sell to the public 7 old and unserviceable fire hydrants to the highest bidder or bidders with a minimum starting price not less than the price of scrap.
Support.
Moved and supported, any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Accept a donation of a John Deere tractor by David Wagner. What is the cost?
Mr. President, I'll resolve to accept the donation from David Wagner of the John Deere riding lawnmower, model MOL 133A070511 LT 133 tractor to the Village of Armada to be used by the Department of Public Works in its operational use.
Support.
Moved and supported, any further discussion?
I'll only take it if there's air in the tires and he's got a full tank of fuel. Yeah, no issues. That's good of Dave to do that.
It's good to accept something anytime. So if anybody else would like to do so, always contact our DPW or Mr. Bill.
So I had in the back of that, I'm just gonna sign that, this is for Dave's records, just so you know, it's just telling us that he
Take a tax
donated it.
write-off or something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay, and I think also, what we should do is put a letter in the mail to him, thanking him in his family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Declaration acknowledging September 17 as a Constitution Day.
So a village office received a request by a resident to make a proclamation in honor of Constitution Day, which is coming up. And it's something we don't do very often. It's interesting, you know, you see the calendars that have the soup du jour day or whatever, hot dog day, and but if you look at some of those, of course I got a favorite. There's Beer Lovers Day on 7 September, and there's National Drink a Beer Day on 28 September. But if you look at them, you find there's some really important days there, and Constitution Day coming up on the 17th is one of them. Just some interesting background is, of course, everybody knows Labor Day was the 5th. World Suicide Prevention Day was the 10th. Yesterday was 9/11 Remembrance Day or Patriots Day. International Day of Democracy is the 15th. National POW and MIA Recognition Day, the 16th. Voter Registration Day, National Voter Registration Day, 20 September. International Day of Peace, 21st of September. Gold Star Mothers and Family Day, 25 September. National Day of Forgiveness, which we could probably all use, is 27 September. And National Good Neighbor Day, 28 September. And National Love People Day, 30 September. So there's a lot of worthy ones which they just kind of go by, and they're not federal holidays necessarily, and we miss a lot of them. But I did get a request, and so I took a shot at writing up a proclamation. So I'm going to read that now. So this is proclamation in honor of Constitution Day. Whereas the United States Constitution was signed by the delegates of the Philadelphia Constitutional Convention on September 17th, 1787, it's 235 years ago, and whereas the Bill of Rights, which is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, and other parts of the Constitution form and guarantee the essential liberties that we value most as Americans, and whereas the 14th Amendment of the Constitution guarantees those rights and privileges to all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof as citizens of the United States and the state wherein they reside. And whereas the U.S. Constitution lays out the framework of the national federal government and delineates how its three branches, the legislative, the executive, and the judicial, are to function. And whereas, as village officers, we have all taken an oath that we will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state to the best of our ability. And whereas the U.S. Constitution is the envy of other nations, has inspired them, and serves as the basis for other similar documents around the world. And whereas our Constitution, which is now under increasing attack by extremists on both sides of the political divide, needs to be protected by all Americans who truly value liberty and love freedom. Therefore, let it be known that we, the Municipal Council of the Village of Armada, commemorate the signing of the Constitution of the United States and will celebrate along with our constituents Constitution Day on Saturday, September 17th, 2022. And I make a motion to accept the proclamation as presented and verbally fumbled.
Support.
So thank you.
Can we say to accept the proclamation declaring September 17, 2022 as Constitution Day as presented?
Sure.
Use that? Okay.
I yield to
All right.
that.
I support it.
We will hang the proclamation in the window.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Next is up and coming agenda items. Council have any?
I will have the proclamation, hopefully. I've got to get a hold of the Purple Heart gentleman I talked to. Hopefully I'll have that proclamation at the next meeting.
Did you need any help from me at all?
Nope, I got that. Well, I don't know yet. I've got to get back a hold, because the way he told me is I've got to get a hold of him. He's national. National will find a local, but they need to be at the meeting to hear it read. And then my problem is after that, I've talked to Steve Lichtenfeld, I've talked to the Ambets about how to get the signs, and nobody really knows how to do that. So that's where I might get a fumble, but I'd like to get it started, get the proclamation approved, and then, do what we have to do to find the signs.
I would hope that I'd be honored to do it, and I'm a Ambets Life member, so I could be the
Okay, that's
person.
fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that, so.
And I'll have, hopefully, the manhole replacement.
We will be having an executive session next meeting too.
What's the date of the next meeting?
24th, 24th, 26th?
26,
Okay,
26.
I'll give council an update on the connection of the water tower to the fire department generator and immediate replacement. Those would be two big things if we get done without any problems, we'll be cooking, so give an update.
Next one, we won't be spending any money. Thanks, Russ.
Oh. All right, update. Okay.
Also,
Make the big gun Russ.
I received a letter today from American Tower urging us to contact them and renegotiate our original contract. I'm going to forward that to Jeff, and as soon as he's reviewed it, then we've made an initial contact back with them. I'm sure they want us to reduce it.
Too bad.
Yeah, I'm sure
They've
they're
been
not
wanting
gonna
that
wanna
for
give
a
us
while.
more money, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I want half this on a call.
Like everything else has gone up,
right,
then they're gonna ask for a discount.
yeah.
I'm
Well, they
sorry.
think, their logic is they can get more tags onto the tower if they reduce the payment to them, which would reduce the payment to us.
Did we ever work that out, whether we've been getting the payments like we were?
I did talk to him about that as well. The guy I talked to didn't know.
Okay, well, yeah. I say no negotiating until
No.
we know that. Okay.
Okay, I'm just acting up.
Yeah, well, he said he hadn't been there that long, and there's only a few of us here on council that's even been here long enough to remember when we did that
Yeah.
negotiation on the tower.
Yeah.
So, because when I started, we were getting 33 a year on it. And then it went to 8,000 a year, and we're at 10,000 now. So I guess that's starting to pinch them.
Well,
For babies.
Yeah.
That's what
Sorry.
happens when you make an
Yeah.
agreement.
I have to get another part-time job, Dee.
Yeah.
In other words, hire somebody else, get on the tower then. Excuse me. Citizen comments? And the thing is, council comments at this time?
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
I'd like to thank the council and all the people who sent prayers in for me. I was lucky, let's face it, and just want to say thank you for all your concern.
That's always good.
Not ready to lose you yet, man.
They had you quit smoking.
Well,
Yes, ma'am,
Good boy.
over a month.
you know what it takes, mentioning that, what it takes for everybody is to be together more and really appreciate each other as such. And it doesn't hurt to, talk to somebody, say hello,
Be kind.
goodbye, or whatever, and just make a sweet, short conversation. And it's pleasing, very pleasing. So I know that mine too, it was very accommodating to accept all that. So, but we just hope that nobody else has to do what some of us have in common. Thank you, kindly. So, community events, main thing is the football homecoming, October 7th.
October 7th, yeah.
That's the only thing that I can recall right offhand.
Yep.
And we don't have a closed session tonight either. So at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion for an adjournment. Mr. Ballard?
The time is 7:39. I move to adjourn.
Thank you. And Mr. Brokey, thank you.
Well, it's good that Lyle's done it because Dave was trying to do it and screw
Oh,
up the
boy,
time.
it was hard with you not here because
Yeah,
we made all the motions.
We're all floundering.
Okay.
It would be an hour off and,
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.